Scene 100.4. Hey y'all, Artist Poet Girl here, also known as APG Jamie. So we're going to be taking a trip, and I needed something to carry some background papers in from an art bag. Yeah, I could have used a folder, but then I'd have to put them in a suitcase, and you still got that whole wrinklage maybe. And I do have an art bag, and this will work for that. Well, we'll find out after the trip anyway. And as a matter of fact, by the time you guys see this video, we're probably already back home on our trip. I hope we had a good time. Woo! So I'm taking this Gelli print cardstock. It wasn't necessarily that pretty. It wasn't totally ugly, but I wanted to use it, but not for a background. And I have paper towel tubes, also known as kitchen towel tubes, and they're not the best anymore. They used to be a lot heavier, but the manufacturers are not making them that way. They're trying to save as much money as they can, and it does help with the landfill issues too. So high five green art, you guys. And so there I used some Elmer's glue all on the back side of the Gelli print cardstock, and on those Gelli prints I used some of Patty Tolly Parrish's new stencils, and I trimmed off because you know how you get the white edge on there, because Gelli plate is not the exact same size as a standard piece of paper here in the U.S. So trimmed off the white, but otherwise used the whole sheet. And I'm holding the ends with clothespins, also known as the pins that you use on solar clothes dryers. Well, it is solar clothes dryer. You guys know that. You new people? I guess you're going to have to Google that one. So, yeah. I made what? Like 4 or 5 tubes. And the cardstock wrapped around these tubes really made the tubes a lot firmer. And they're pretty significant now. And, yeah, I'm gluing the edge on that one because it wanted to pop up, obviously. I didn't get enough glue on there the first time. Sorry, but now it's mo better, and I decided to paint the ends for whatever reason. I don't know. I just wanted to. So I did. Add a little pop of black. So yep. Oh, that's Champ at the door. I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. This is actually my second voiceover recording, because of the first one he got the hard cup that he plays with, and he was banging it all around because he likes noisy stuff. He's such a child that way. So I got the cup picked up, and he was sad. And then he thought he was going to play with the bird seed bag because he likes eating that stuff, y'all. That is the strangest dog. So I had to pick up the birdseed bags because that makes a lot of noise too. And here I'm using some Aleene's tacky glue, because I'm going to glue these two tubes together. I'm not sure why I wanted to do that, but I did. So I'm using Aleene's tacky glue. I'm putting some glue on both tubes along the seam, and oh, I have an acrylic rod thing my husband brought home. I'm not sure what they had the rod there for, but yeah, he found it and brought it home for me. He knows I like that kind of stuff. Thank you, Johnny. And I used it inside the tube to kind of, because you can't reach down inside that tube, and that acrylic rod thing really worked well for that. And here I'm putting the Aleene's down in the seam, and smashing it out with the palette knife. I'm gonna surface try it. And oh, here's my art bag. This is my traveling art bag, And it's a Grafter's tote from Harbor Freight. And you can see it's got nice pockets on the outside. My watercolor crayons. And there's the basic colors of paint. And just different tools, toothbrush, and I don't know, pens and whatever else I got on, scissors on there. Inside that that blue box thing is Swiffer wet things came in that, but it fit just in there really great. I have all kinds of gesso. I have white, clear, and black, and there were my pencil case and some paintbrushes and a ruler because I may actually have to measure something. Jean requires it, and so does Aussie Grand. Yeah, and that's a silicone mat. I will probably throw some letter stamps in here, letter rubber stamps, letters, ABC. And that's the Tim Holtz Teflon mat. I don't know what kind of mat it is. It folds up pretty well and goes in there. And there is my background tubes. So here's some jelly printed backgrounds I have that I'm going to take with me. I may or may not do any journal pages. Just never know. They will not roll up sideways like that. And I don't think you can get them out the tube anyway. So I don't know. I think I had about 10 sheets or something. And it just doesn't fit very well. It's too tight. So I divided them in half. And I'm going to roll the pretty side towards the inside. It's a smarter idea like that. Sometimes I don't know. And yeah, that fits really well. And I bet 5 sheets of cardstock would have worked as well. So I may add another, I don't know, probably not, because they're in there now. And now they're in my bag. And, yeah. No, I'm not really packing yet for the trip, but I just wanted to get this done. I don't want to be a last-minute person. So here I am. I'm going to make this tube is actually going to go through the mail. And I used die cut circles, but you can use a hole punch, probably about 1.5 inch. Not sure the exact size of that hole, but this size, about 1.5 inch, worked really well. And as you can see, I'm going to glue on the not so pretty jelly printed paper that I did drippage on, and it just was not very good. But it's going to be a great mail art tube. So there I am, smashing out that Elmer's glue wall. Here comes that acrylic rod, and it's just going to work in there just like a rolling pin. It really worked well. Wished I could thought of that on those other ones. But anyway, so I'm just smashing it in. I'm going to put some glue around these ends because they were a little, I don't know, dinged up. I would say boogered up, but then y'all would get confused with paint boogers, of which I don't really have any. So there I am gluing the ends, just kind of making sure that paper stuck on there, although I didn't have to because I am going to use duct tape on the ends. And there I used some Aleene's tacky along the seam line. And heat gun. And here's the duct tape. And there's my circles. For the circles, I did rip it because rip it good. Okay. So anyway, you can tear duct tape that way, which was fine on the ends because I'm going to go wrap around them anyway. Which you'll see me cut that because when you do rip the duct tape, it does kind of ruffle very slightly, but it still ruffles. And here I'm trimming the duct tape. I went like 1 finger width and smushed it onto the tube and then trimmed. You see me cut it, and this way I'll be able to go around the tube without having any pokey corner bit things. And I'm burnishing it down with my finger. Could have used a bone folder, but I didn't. Because sometimes I just don't do stuff. I don't know. Hindsight is 2020. So, and I've got this part kind of slowed down. It was normal speed. Y'all notice how I can put my little finger out like I'm all fancy drinking tea and stuff? So, yeah, now I'm going to fold those over. I'm going to trim that. I tried to go a little closer, but it's hard to tell. I don't know. So, anyway. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, just putting the tube on there. And, yep. I'm going to do that for a little bit. And should be about done with this end. I lost my place, y'all. I'm not reading a script. But still. So now I'm going to wrap the duct tape around the end. This I cut because I don't want the ruffled edge. I am trying to do the post office a little bit of a favor here. And this tube with that cardstock wrapped around it and then the duct tape on the ends is actually very significant. Yeah. I hope it doesn't crush. I don't think it will. I hope not. So, there. It's kind of prettied up the end too. And I'm going to use that pole to go in there and make sure my little circles stuck really good, which it should be. It should have been stuck really good before I even did that. So let's get some Gelli printed copy papers to put in this here mail tube because somebody's going to get some happy mail. It's a secret. Shh, don't tell them. And some are printed on both sides, some are not. I did slip in one piece of cardstock. And let's see, what else am I going to put in there? Oop, napkin, peacock napkin. Oh, it's so pretty, y'all. I found it at the Tuesday mornings. And here's another one I found at the Tuesday mornings just a few days ago. But by the time you guys see this, it's been like weeks ago, even a month, I don't know. And that's a napkin I've had for a while. And there's a piece of deli wrap printed or probably cleanup pulls off the Gelli plate. I did trim the one end of it because it was a little too wide, too long. Could have rolled it short ways, but then I was afraid the receiver may not have been able to get them out. Oh, dadgum, it's just a little too tall because I put that circle down there. So I trimmed basically about 1/4 of an inch at the most off the long end on those. And here we're going to seal up the other end. Guess who forgot to put a letter inside? No finger pointing allowed. So anyway, it'll be a surprise on who it's from because I have now decided I'm not even going to put a return to address because, yeah, it's just going to be Happy Mail. Now, if you happen to be watching this and you did or you will receive this, then yay, now you know who it's from. And if you're not watching this, then yay, it's a surprise Happy Meal and you still don't know who it's from. I don't know if that made any sense. So I kept this one at a little faster pace because you saw me do the other end. But if you're going to put a note in, put your note in before you seal up. Yeah. Just saying. So, I think it should go through the mail pretty easily. I'm not sure. They may charge me a little higher rate because it may be considered a package. It's darn sure not an envelope. So, yeah. It has pretty good, it's it's pretty good with that cardstock wrapped around there. And I'm going to wrap this end and burnishing it down with my thumb. So I'm cutting it because I do not want the ruffled edge that you sometimes get when you rip it. Rip it good. And yeah, I'm going to use a mailing label, but I'm not going to show you. Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! And yeah, here's the two that I glued together. For whatever reason, I glued them together. And here's the two that will be going in my traveling art bag. Hooray! Da-da-da. Woo! Googly hands, hurry! Woo! So, thanks so much, you guys. I appreciate you spending your time with me, and I hope you are inspired by something I do to make your own, or make it better, or even lead to something else. Thanks. Thanks for watching, and happy arting, y'all.